I know how many of you want to see others fail like you, hit stop losses like you do, so you feel better about your profitability. But I can assure you, there's a level you get to with this shit. Profits become your second nature, and losses stay far away from you. That's crazy, y'all. So I've never been comfortable with these guys selling this idea that being profitable at Forex means that you won't be losing trades, or you would already be losing like two trades a month. If you take like what 50 trades in a month, then you only lose just one at most. Like, I've never been comfortable with that idea, because that's just a complete misrepresentation of Forex and what it means to be profitable. We'll still get to that, but this sentiment has been flying around from like, I think it got more pronounced around late last year, like December or so. I think they held one space one time where Sabi Girl basically, I made a post about it, so let me just read the tweet. So here she said it before, losses are not badges of honor, they are signals, signs that something in your process needs attention. Stop calling it part of the game when it's actually a reflection of inconsistency, lack of discipline, or bad strategy. Stop normalizing losses, blah 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 blah. Homo. And TechRiz basically co-signed the same thing. He said, flesh and blood did not reveal this to you. Well said. So now that these guys are being dragged, I don't even really know about Kevin Talent, but as for TechRiz, who is like the second half of the whole signal selling stuff, you know, with this context now, can you really blame people who bought into this idea that, oh, this guy is probably one god of trading who never loses, or who loses 1 in 100 trades? So you can't blame them for, you know, coming out to cry to the world that, come look, oh, we paid this nigga, this Thanos ultimate nigga who never loses trades, but now we've chopped like four losses in a row. Because I've seen a lot of gaslighting. Like, I can't stand you niggas in FXNG. Everybody now they twist the narrative. If it's easy, why you no go trade by yourself? They know it's not easy, but then there's this guy claiming to be the alpha and omega. Somebody was saying they paid for your confidence, they paid for your skill.
You are not paying for the results, you are paying for their confidence, you are paying for their skills, you are paying for the track record.
So the confidence and the skill now is to be chopping back-to-back losses after positioning yourself as Thanos. Is that what somebody paid $200 for? Anyway, like, let me just, like, there's nothing uncommon, there's nothing strange or bad, there's no level of trading you are going to get to where it will be impossible for you to lose 4 or 5 trades in a row at some point, right? But when you've already mentioned this, when you already talk am like this, say, I can assure you. I can assure you there's a level you get to with this shit. Profits become your second nature and losses stay far from you. So when you already talk am like this, it's like, it's time for you to defy the Dapo Willis effect and actually prove this thing you are saying. And because this level of trading is unattainable, and so once you've already positioned yourself and projected yourself as somebody with this ability, it's only a matter of time before reality does the fact checking. So yes, I've emphasized this point several times already. Being a profitable trader doesn't mean you are going to be winning most trades and not losing at all, right? Like, every single Forex ledger, I think one thing that will help you guys is to switch away from listening to online influencers or people claiming all these them trades by Sai, all these them FXLXG, people that are just looking for naive 16-year-olds to sell courses to. Go and actually start listening to real Forex, like real professional Forex traders with, let's say, decades of trading experience, decades, you know, verified track records. You won't hear them talk about Forex the way these guys present Forex. I've never seen any Forex legend that talks about, oh, I have a 90% win rate, I have an 80%. The most you hear is like 50%. I've not even seen anybody that will say 60%. Because the way you guys like to calculate your win rate, right? Let's say you just have a good spell now. You take 5 trades. You, I don't know, trade a prop firm account. Let's say in 5 trades you win 4. Then you pass the prop firm challenge in like 5 trades. That will be an 80% win rate, right? But how you actually calculate your win rate, how you actually know your real win rate, is when you've taken hundreds of trades over the course of several months. That's how you know what your real win rate is. Nobody say you take 10 trades and just because that moment you're experiencing the good side or variance in the distribution of your own trading outcomes, you can't conclude, say, oh, I get 80%. You don't have any freaking 80% win rate. That's why I gravitate towards low win rate strategies, because to me it's like the worst thing that can happen to you in trading is that you lose a trade. So if there's a way you can actually be losing more trades than you win but still making money, I feel like that's what I would just want to do. So when I'm losing, I'll know like, okay, there's nothing uncommon about losing or losing multiple trades in a row. But I know over the course of 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, 5 months, 6 months, I'm still going to be making money. So I don't really have anything to worry about. To me, that's better and more and easier on one's psychology than hoping to attain this ability to be winning most of the trades, and then once you stop winning, you start looking for the next strategy, because no such strategy exists. So there are a lot of things, there are a lot of fallacies, a lot of myths we're going to have to dispel, but now step by step, Sha. So let me play a video. This is I think he holds the record for the highest prop firm payouts and whatnot. Listen to what the guy has to say.
The biggest thing that people get wrong about trading is they think the biggest traders in the space have this amazing win rate, but that couldn't be further from the truth. So I want to share something with you guys. This is my P&L curve. Now this is the same time period that I was copy trading to 20 Apex accounts and was able to break the single world record payout of $2.5 million. Just take a minute and think about what my win rate actually was during this time period. I already know what some of you guys are thinking. This guy probably had at least a 60 to 70% win rate. Now let me show you what it actually was. 35% over hundreds of trades. That means on average I was losing 6 out of 10 trades. So you need to stop focusing on all these different strategies trying to perfect your win rate and win more trades. You just need to focus on winning more on your winning trades and losing less on your losing trades.
So when you boil everything down, Forex don't pass like that. It's like, bro, that's just the summary. You see all these things we do, technical analysis, market structure, this strategy, that strategy. Bro, those things are subjective. What influences the movement of price? There are so many factors that go into it that you cannot just say because I saw a fair value gap here. You can interpret it that way, but it's not an objective fact. All this stuff we talk about, the institutions, the this, the that, the this, bro, there are too many factors that go into deciding every single tick in the market that no one person can say, bro, look at all these hedge funds, look at all these big financial institutions. These people spend hundreds of thousands or even millions of dollars hiring experts in all fields, trying to find that edge, trying to do. So who is this one guy or one girl that's using trading view charts and is trying to sell you that idea that they found some, like, bro, are you like, when will you niggas wake up in this FXNG? The idea of doing all those things is to find an edge and is to let it play out over several trades. You're basically trying to make the best guess possible. Let me use, I know I've used this thing multiple times, but let me use my phase 2 as an example again. Let me show you the idea behind this thing. So we see, let me make this full screen again. So we see this was the phase 2, right? The phase 1 was still similar, right? 30 something. Oh, this one was almost 40%. I think phase 1 was even less than this. Where was phase 1? Let me look for phase 1 and phase 2. So this is the analytics for phase 1. We see here I had a 34% win rate. I didn't take too many trades in phase 1, just 26 trades. Average winning trade was like 1.6. Average losing trade was $400 because I was risking 0.3 to 0.5%. But we see the win rate here, 34% win rate. But with 34% win rate, I still ended up making the 8%. Because look at the difference between my best trade and my worst trade. My best trade was 4.4%, while my worst trade was 0.9%. And this was like the first trade I took. I hadn't even really decided what I wanted to do then. After this trade, I just decided, okay, let me risk 0.3 to 0.5%, because since I have put this challenge publicly, I wanted to trade in a way that I will give myself the highest chances of passing this challenge. So I knew if I was risking like 0.3 to 0.5%, it would just take more time, but then I have like a 90+% assurance of actually passing the challenge. Like me, I don't really care about passing in 1 week. All those things there, it can happen, once in a while, but it's not something somebody can repeat. Or anybody that you see that passed or that passes a challenge in 1 week, they failed like 100 billion challenges that you did not see. And then when they manage to do it quickly like that, they will not put my FTMO challenge. That time I was more active on Instagram. The phase 2, I passed it in 1 trade. I risked 0.5% and I did a 1 to 10. But I did not try to sell the idea of like, oh, this is how it is every day. Like, bro, you just got lucky. I don't want to call it luck, but at the same time, it's luck. Because it's not something you can repeat. I did everything I was supposed to do in phase 1. Phase 1 was like, it is something trades. Right? But in phase 2, but if I did not do what I was supposed to do in phase 1, I would have never got into phase 2. So because I did everything I was supposed to do, I then got to phase 2 and I still followed my plan. I was just fortunate that on my first trade, I was able to do the 1 to 10 and pass the whole thing in 1 trade. But it doesn't mean this is something that's going to be happening every day, or that I'm so good now that, just give me your login details. I'm like, bro, it's just like if you're in a boxing match, you can go all out and you can be swinging and swinging and swinging. You might get lucky, right? And I guess land a couple of punches, which would be the same thing as you over risking and getting lucky and making some money on that trade. But if you continue attacking your opponent that way for long enough, at one point you go chop uppercut because you are not defending yourself. You're only concerned about attacking your opponent, throwing all the punches you can. Your opponent go just a block. Before you know, bam, you don't collect one uppercut. Next thing, you wake up in your car and you're already driving home. That's the way it's going to be for every level of trading. Saying you want to have a career in trading, or you are so good at trading that you don't lose trades, will be as ridiculous as somebody saying my football team does not lose possession. Like, no matter how good your team is, inside one season you go still concede some. We're not even talking about goals now, because that one would even be less ridiculous than saying you don't want to lose possession. Like, throughout the whole 90 minutes, let's say now on a first pass, okay, until you score, you will never lose possession. Then when you score, your opponent passes, and then you dispossess them, and from then on until you score again, you will never, like, how is that possible? How does that sound realistic? Does that even sound possible or even plausible at all? Like, imagine somebody trying to coach their team to get to that point. You are aiming for something that is unrealistic. Every other person in all the different teams play football, no matter how good your own team is, those people are also professional footballers. No matter how good you are as a boxer, you are going to be fighting other professional boxers who want to win just like you. So the edge is not in the fact that you're going to get to it. Yes, once in a while you have those matches where in the first round you knock out the person, but for like 99% of the professional bouts you are going to participate in, you are going to have to display actual boxing skills. You are going to have to display your edge. What makes you better than your opponent? Your opponent are also professional boxers, but you are just better than them, whether slightly better than them or much better than them. But that slightly better or much better is what makes the difference. You're not going to go into every match and just go boom, 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 knock your opponent out. You are going to have to demonstrate your superior defense, demonstrate your superior counter-attacking skills, demonstrate your superior capitalization of every single opportunity you have, and that is what makes the difference over several rounds. So when you have one winning trade, until you have to be thinking, where would this account be at the end of the month? Where would this account be at the end of the first quarter or the second quarter or whatever quarter in the year you are in? Having a winning trade or one big winning trade will be the same thing as landing a punch on your opponent in one of the 12. Let's just say each month of the year is one round, and that boxing match is supposed to be 12 rounds. So having a winning trade or one big winning trade will be like you just landing a nice uppercut or a nice hook on your opponent, but your opponent doesn't get knocked out. But you've not still won the match, right? There's still a possibility that you are going to lose the match down the line. So where that account would be after 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, 6 months is more important than that thing you did in that moment, because that's just like throwing one punch or landing one nice punch on your opponent. So we see the same thing for phase 2. Phase 2 was, I had a higher win rate, but yeah, I took more trades. The reason for this, I don't know if I should go into all this stuff, but basically, when you have an edge, right? If you're looking for your edge and all that stuff, for example, you have a setup that you take, there is no particular setup where you are just going to be taking it every single time. Like when you see all these things on the chart, and this is one of the hardest part for most traders, because you can learn something and it will work for a while and then it will stop working, and then you start looking for the next thing to, because there is no one setup where you just watch a YouTube video, you just watch somebody, or somebody will just show you, once you see this, you do this, and then you just continue on like that for eternity and continue just winning. Because at some point that thing is going to die out, and then that's basically one of the biggest challenges for most traders. So the thing about finding an edge, like a long-term edge, is knowing when to adjust, having the ability to sense when market conditions are about to change, and then that edge is going to stop working, and then you might have to just adjust. Like, for example, now remember I took 20-something trades in phase 1 to make 8%, but in phase 2 I'm taking 72 trades to make just 5%. What happened was, because I was trading mostly gold up, what happened was I started phase 2 in February, and from that ending of January, when gold hit that all-time high, the bias was the beginning of the bearish phase. But most people's bias was still bullish, including mine. So for at least those early stages of the trading, I was still trying to catch those buys, but price continued reversing. You will just feel it like the conditions are already changing. If I was now risking 0.3 to 0.5%, if I was risking like 2%, before I start to realize all those things, I would have been in so much drawdown that I will not have enough space or enough buffer to then be able to recover, even though I adjust to the new market conditions. So I was already sensing it, because I was still trying to. That's one of the benefits of risking so little, is that you can experiment and try to make sure, like even when I was sensing it, that the bias was changing, that the market regime was changing, I was still testing it to be sure, like, okay, it has gone from bullish to bearish, now we're in a bearish phase, something like that. So I don't know if I can go into more detail, but here we see it's still around the same 30-something%. The 30-something% win rate did not stop me from making the 5%. It did not stop me from making the 8%. But yeah, like I said, this phase 2 was much tougher than the phase 1. We can see best trade here was 3%. Worst trade, remember where this worst trade came from. I've gone over this a million times already. So let me use this. Let me mute this sound. This is the entire trading history for my phase 2. So let me give you the analogy. Now you can see I was risking 0.3%, 0.3%, 0.3%, 0.4% here. Think about this like a boxing match. These first few losses were just like 4 jabs. Just think about it. Oh, my opponent is giving me like a couple of jabs, right? But because I have my guard up, it doesn't really do too much damage. It's just 0.3, 0.3, 0.3, 0.3. When I returned my own punch, because the reason why I closed this trade at 1% is I was trying as much as possible to not go into too much drawdown. Even most of these trades you see like that ended up in losses, it's not like the trade did not go in losses, or like every time I entered the trade it would just go straight to my stop loss. Some of these trades were like 1 to 5 already, 1 to 6. Now me go just leave them, because we'll see, there'll be too much to explain. But basically, sometimes I just let the trade run. So once I'm already going into some drawdown, let's say 1%, 2%, I will just trail my stop loss a little. So even if price reverses, I can still catch those 1 to 3s, 1 to 2s here and there, and just keep myself, around that break even, not too deep in drawdown. I will just stay there for a while until the kind of trade I'm looking for actually comes by. That's why you see those 1 to 10s, 1 to whatevers, because that, see, there are so many lies in this FXNG. Nobody they catch 1 to 10 multiple times a week. It's not possible. You might have a good spell where it happens like that. Oh, you just have this good week where you saw like 1 to 5, 1 to 8, like 2. But that thing will happen, like, it's not something that happens all the time. On average, you are not catching 1 to 10s multiple times a week. Okay? Like, bro, see, trading hard pass. I want to say trading is harder than what they are selling to you, but at the same time, I don't think trading is hard. The reason why trading is hard for most people is because they don't understand that what they are trying to achieve is impossible to achieve. So it's not like trading is hard in that sense. It's just that you are doing something you're trying to do something that's impossible. You are trying to coach your team to be so good to the point that they will never lose possession in a game. And then when that's not happening, you now be saying, oh, this thing is too hard. It's like, yes, football can be hard, professional football can be hard, but for different reasons, not that reason you are giving, because what you are trying to achieve is basically impossible. If you are saying football is hard, say it's hard because, I have to be dedicated, I have to be disciplined, I have to wake up and train, I have to perform, I have to do this, I have to do that. Not that, I'm trying to get so good that my squad never loses possession in a game. And then when you lose possession, which you are always going to do, you now say, football is hard. Because like I said, these losses you are seeing here, just imagine them as light jabs. These are light jabs. They throw me blow, but they block them, right? That's your stop loss. That's your risk management. When it's time for me to throw my own, bam, I tear my own. My own is 3.1 times more than what my opponent gives me. Then I continued. We're riding the wave. And then we see again, I was going into drawdown. And then I did the same thing again. As I was going into drawdown, when the trade started going my way, I trailed my stop loss to around another 1 to 3. Like I said, I'm not always trying to, it's like, bro, it's just a whole, you just have to be in that zone. You just guys understand what they do. But if you are coming to this thing expecting that, you are going to be so good that you will not be losing, you are chasing fairy tales. Like, that's not what makes somebody profitable. You have to just, now you go own your game. You are in the zone. You are in a war against the market. You are battling the market. So the same thing happened. As I was losing again, some of these trades went into profit, but I did not move my stop loss. I did not trail my stop loss because I understand that if you continue doing that thing, like over the course of several trades, it's going to be eating into your edge. So if I was trading this thing privately, it would have been different. But for this one, I had to make sure I passed. Like, I could not fail this. So I could not afford to fail. You understand? So that's how I was doing it this way. So we see the next trade. Okay, this I was going into not deep drawdown. You can see the worst drawdown I had in this challenge was, let's just say, approximately 3%. So at no point was my balance lower than 97k or even up to 97k in 70 something trades. So we can see again, this is the worst loss that happened. This is 800 and something, and this one was not my fault at all. This one was, I posted about this in case you've not seen it already. So this is where that worst loss came from. I made this post that time. I basically put my stop loss, but then I found out that on Funded Next, when the market opens for like the first 15 minutes, your stop loss, your TP, nothing will be respected. So you see how price was falling. Look at where my stop loss was. Look at where this one is now. And fortunately price reversed, and that was when it closed at that 0.8%, which was my worst loss, which is this one here. But no, I never risked up to 0.8%. But whatever, that one happened. So all this while I was still, this was like how many days in now? You see the first trade I took was on the 2nd of February. So from 2nd of February till this is 10th of February, I was still around break even. I was still around that break even mark, right? Just oscillating between -1%, -2%, then I'll go back to -1%, -2%. But that one did not make me change my plan. It did not make me change anything. If I come, even if I chop stop loss throughout that day, I go rest. Tomorrow is another day. You come back, do what you're supposed to do. I don't know what happened there, but I think I was moving I don't know what happened, but this one is kind of weird. I won't tell anybody to, close their trades at 0. Like, this is pointless. You might as well just let it go and hit your stop loss if you are going to be closing at less than 1 to 1. Because I don't even take, less than like 1 to 2 at worst. So I don't really know what happened there. I don't know why this one closed at 0.2%, but whatever. So we can see I was still taking losses because remember, at this point in time, the bias was changing, the market regime was changing, the market conditions were changing. Gold just hit an all-time high. People were still expecting gold to continue buying them. I mean, not really, but people were not sure what was going to happen because gold can be very funny at times. You would think, gold has reached its highest point, now it's going to start selling, and then it's to continue buying. So when it got to that all-time high in January, most people were still thinking, okay, gold is going to continue this bullish phase. So it's no surprise that some people were still trying to catch those buys. So we can see continuing, -3. These are just light jabs. My opponent just remember we're in a boxing match. My opponent they jab me. I still they try maintain my composure. Right? I did not get frustrated and say, oh, why they blow me? Maybe I just rush you blow, because now you've exposed yourself. That would be the same thing as, oh, I'm losing. Let me just go full margin. Let me just risk 2% so I can recover everything I've lost. Let me risk 5%. Let me risk 10% of my money. That will be the same thing, because now you're getting frustrated. You want to rush your opponent, but you've exposed yourself. If you succeed in that instance, you are getting rewarded for bad behavior. You go get another time where you go try that thing again, and the market go tear you sexy uppercuts. And there's nobody in this world that can say they can continue like that. The market is always going to be hard. What separates you from an unprofitable trader is the fact that you've found your edge. You now know how to, you now have that thing that you do. You know how you handle the market in a way that over the course of several trades over a period of time, you end up making more money than you lose. That's what it means. It's not that you're going to get to one level where you are now this baba that never loses. Like, that is just complete BS. So we continue, light jabs. Again, I was going into drawdown. I did my trailing my stop loss to just make my 1 to 3, because I'm risking 0.3%. So this is like 1 to 3.1%, just to keep me there. I don't mind being there for a couple of days or even weeks, right? I can spend 3 weeks in drawdown, and then the last week of the month, I will just bang it like boom. You don't say I don't make 10%, I don't make 15%. The goal is to just survive when the market is not really going the way you want it to go, when the thing is looking like, it's getting tougher. Just survive that moment, because that moment is always going to come. But the thing you guys are aiming for is that you want to do, like, bro, who do you think you are? Like, you are using TradingView. People, when they spend hundreds of thousands of dollars, they are employing professionals, mathematicians, physicists, blah blah blah, to solve this one, to do equations. Now you, because they use trading, you never even pay for TradingView Premium. You they use normal TradingView because you don't watch ICT. You won't come abandon common sense. If anybody is that good, we don't all be swimming in trillions and trillions of dollars. Like, okay, if let's say this guy now trades by side, if he's as good as he says he is, 90% win rate, profit factor of 90, like, bro, do you know how crazy that thing sounds? To say you have a profit factor of 19. God. If that guy is as good as he says he is, now what is stopping him from making trillions of dollars? What exactly is stopping him from making trillions of dollars? Like, this thing is so, just be objective. Like, guys, stop fighting reality, stop fighting the truth. Go to your ChatGPT. Now we have AI, right? It's not like back then. Now, for example, where the only place you can get this kind of information is like by reading books or being fortunate enough to, I don't know, be mentored by an actual professional trader and whatnot. Just go to ChatGPT, ask ChatGPT, what is profit factor? What are the metrics you use to measure profitability over time? What does it mean to be a profitable trader? Let it break all these things down for you, so you understand. Because how you say you have a profit factor of, like, do you know how stupid or how ridiculous that shit sounds? Like, so all these guys now, if he's actually that good, what is now stopping him from why has he now made trillions of dollars, or at least billions of dollars? These niggas are just selling you dreams. You need to stop watching these content creators and marketers and actually start gaining like proper knowledge in forex, understanding what it takes to be profitable. So let's continue now. Market, they give me jabs at the guide. Maybe this one was like a slight punch. Was like a nice hook. This minus 0.8%. The thing give me, okay, no wahala. I still, steadied my feet. I did not lose my composure, continued doing what I was doing. We continued the game, gave me some more light jabs. We did exchange our jabs, landed my own punch. We continued on and on, because again, during this phase, remember, the market was already shifting from bullish to bearish. I don't know if I should, I don't know when last I opened TradingView. If I open TradingView now, I might even have to log in the game, but let me try to just open TradingView. My TradingView no grey open. I don't know what they happen. Anyway, just open the MT5 or open your own TradingView. Go to the monthly time frame. But yeah, if you go to TradingView, if you go to the gold chart, just go to the monthly time frame. You see over the past several months, gold has been bearish. So that was what was happening here. That's why phase 2 was taking longer, because my bias was still bullish. You see, I was still buying. But But then price just kept reversing. Every time I trail my stop loss, it reverses and it hits my stop loss. I trail stop loss, it reverses, hits my stop loss. Like that. And then we continue. This one was a sell. This one was a short-term sell. You can even see this one I set TP. You can see this one hit my TP because I was still trying to make sure the bias had actually changed. This is why I said this is one of the benefits of risking so little, is that you can experiment and try out a lot of things and not lose so much of your account. So if I had known, I would have just left this one, and perhaps this one would have been like a 1 to 10 trade or 1 to whatever. But because I still hadn't made my mind that the bias had really changed, because despite the amount of trades I was taking here, I'm still mostly a swing trader. If I find the kind of trade I'm looking for, I can hold it for like 2 weeks, 1 month, whatever, however long I have to hold it for. But for all these ones that I'm just trying to get that perfect entry, get myself into that position, then I would swing it. So even though I'm taking all these trades, taking like an average of 3 trades a day, I was taking like an average of 3 trades a day during this challenge, I was still swing trading. So if I had known, I'd have just held this one for longer. But I was going to sleep then. I just put my order, put my stop loss, put my TP, and then I woke up and I saw it had played out well. But you see, this one was a sell. This was a 1 to 5. So we continued. I'm trying to scroll here. I keep forgetting that this is a video and I'm supposed to play the video. So same story. Remember, despite all the reds you are seeing here, at no point did I ever go below. Did I ever get to 3% in drawdown? So everything you are seeing here is just I'm just ranging from -2% to close to break even, back to -1% to -2%. Then I'll come back. So I just manage myself during this period, and this period will always come. Now during this kind of period where person wey think say him be Thanos, he don't make 1 billion% before. Now this kind of period, you can't lose all that money plus more, because the person is expecting that those good times to go on for eternity. The market can give you 1 today and take times 10 over the course of the next 2 months. You can start today. I flipped $100 to $5,000 today, and over the next month, if you have money to lose, the market can collect like $15,000 from you, and that's if you have 15,000. If you don't get $15,000 to lose, it will take back all the money it had given you, and then you put more to try to recreate what you did, and then it will continue taking your money. And then when you continue trading like that 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, you see that you've lost so much money to the market that even when you do all these $500 to whatever, 5,000, 10,000, it probably won't make up for how much you've lost overall to the market. So you are still not profitable. Like, that's just how the trap works. Being profitable is knowing how to take money from the market and lose as little as possible, so that over time you will make more money than you've lost to the market. It's not a money printing machine where you just come and start packing money out of the market as if you are the one that did they write your name on the money? All the money you are taking from the market, it comes from other people now. All the other people you are taking money from, don't they want to make money too? So everybody they say, oh, it's a $7 trillion market. It's a this $1 trillion market. Now you put that 7 trillion for there. Did they write your name on that 7 trillion? Is it your inheritance? So which one be saying is a 7? What to call concern you with the 7 trillion? The only money you have is the money you are putting into that market. That's the only money that's your own. And from that 7 trillion is the combination of everybody's money. Everybody participating in the market also wants to make money, just like you want to make money from the market. So how would I go call share them? You put $100, you want to make $10,000. The person that put $10,000 wants to make $1 million. The one that put $1 million wants to make $10 million. Where will the money now come from at the end of the day? It has to come from somebody. So know what you they do. Being profitable does not mean you are going to be winning every trade. It's not about winning most trades. Just find your edge. Know what you they do. Know how you handle the market. Know how you plan yourself. I will just set my limit order, buy or sell limit, close the app, check back later. If you don't enter, hit my stop loss. No wahala. Look, wait a little more. If there's any other setup, place my. Even if I chop stop loss throughout that day, I'm coming back, because I already understand that it's just a matter of time. Like if I continue like this and I let this thing play out and I just follow my strategy the way I've already planned it, it's just a matter of time, right? The reason why this ended was because of that weekend holding removal. Without me being able to hold trades over the weekend, I can't let my edge play out. So when I get into that trade that I'm supposed to hold for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 1 month, and you keep cutting it, at the end of every week because you removed weekend holding, and now that you restored weekend holding, I'm now hearing about 14-day trading. Like, bro, Forex is just trash. That's the main thing that really just spoiled this whole thing for me. Like, Forex, now God will punish those people. Just they deceive people up and down. The weekend holding allowed, but you must close your trades every 14 days. Is that not madness? And they won't make that thing explicit when you're about to buy the account. They go hide them. Now later when you don't buy accounts, where your trades get mysteriously closed, you will now find out that they have one stupid 14-day trading cycle. Very useless people. Anyway, so okay, this was a Euro USD. What's it happen for here? Why did I close at this? This would have been like a 1 to 2 or 1 to 3. I don't even know why. Like, these are some weird trades I was just taking. Like, what am I doing with Euro USD and the rest of them? I primarily trade gold, but sometimes I will just move around a little. But most I won't be trading more than like 3 pairs at a time. Most of the time it's gold, but sometimes I'll just, you see how gold was just acting weird here. So my idea was basically, I don't know, I was just trying to experiment and see what else was going on around the block. So I did a Euro USD thing. I set, it's weird that I set a TP. Sometimes I just set these TPs, especially for sales. I set TPs when I believe that the market is not going to go in that direction for too long. That's how I'll just set a sell. So that's how I'll just set a TP. So this one was just like a quick grab or whatnot. And then I did this GBP JPY trade. This one was like, I think this was one of the best trades I took. This was like trade of the month. Yeah, I remember I used to do trade of the month then. I think this was trade of the month because this trade came back to break even. Like, it was already going in my direction. It fell back down to break even, but I didn't trail my stop loss at all. And then it went up, and then I closed it at 3%. You see, this one didn't hit my stop loss, it didn't hit my TP. I was the one that just manually closed the trade. So this one I made like, how much did I risk on this trade? Was it 0. If it was 0.3, this would have been a 1 to 10. If it was 0.5, this would be a 1 to 6. So yeah, this was a good trade. This was another buy. Again, price kept reversing. You see all these trades, even though they end in profit, it still hit stop loss, which means in these trades I trailed my stops and price came back and hit and took me out. Same silver. I don't know. I never had a good run with silver, so I was just trying to experiment with it. But when I opened this trade, I was like, man, I beg, make this thing go sleep. I just removed it from my watch list. I don't really trade it anymore. It's kind of the same thing as gold, but it just moves funny. I don't know. It has never really been favorable. In my phase 1, I think I lost money to silver. Phase 2, I think I made profit on silver, but it wasn't so much. I don't want to worry about silver, but I beg, gold on D. Then on and on. And yeah, this was towards the end. So I made like, I don't know, 1 to 6, 1 to 8, 1 to whatever, and blah blah blah. And then this was the last trade. So this was a 1 to 1. It's right there in the video itself. So yeah, I passed the phase 2, but you can see the entire journey. It's not that I could not have just risked it all and then passed the challenge in 1 trade or in 5 trades or whatever. But the real question is, how much will you lose on average trying to pass a prop firm challenge like I said, you're not seeing the full picture. Some of these guys, they fail like 10 times before they pass 1 time. That I'm not saying it's bad if you have enough money to run your own strategy like that, because that's another way to trade prop firms. You can't trade with personal capital that way, but if you have enough money, you can say, and it's dangerous to trade that way because you can still lose money. But if you found a strategy, if that's the way you want to approach trading, right, where you buy multiple accounts and then you try to speed run the whole thing, if you can find a way to make money that way and prop firms allow you to trade like that, then it's fine. But most people are not going to be able to trade that way because most people don't have, thousands of dollars to just spend on prop firm challenges. So if you're going to be trading a prop firm, you have to be, you should not be concerned about passing it in 1 week. The phase 1 and phase 2, it took me January and February. That was 2 months in total. Nothing concern, right from day one. I don't already know waiting trading be. So I don't get all this delusional mindset of say I won't pass in 1 week by fire by force. It can happen, but when it happens, let it be that you were following your trading plan, and then that moment just happened to be one of the best moments of your trading. Just the same way I passed phase 2 of my first 100k FTMO challenge in one trade. It's not that I forced it, it's not that I over leveraged, it's not that I still risked my 0.1%, still did the same thing I did in phase 1. I just happened to pass it in one trade. That's the only time you can say, okay, I passed it in one trade, and you can't. But if you're trying to force it that, I must pass in one trade, you never know what they do. You will lose so much money. You feel me, that it's probably not going to be worth it when you eventually pass, because you are playing a losing game. Guy, trading is already hard. The way this thing is already set up is already hard. Prop firms will not be existing if it was that easy. Like, bro, that's what it takes to be profitable. I'm not saying you have to lose this much. You can aim for higher, but me, I personally don't care about a high win rate, or if I want to have a high win rate, I'll just be closing my trades. It's like, bro, I'll just be closing, like I showed you, most of those trades were already going in profit. So if I wanted a high win rate, once I just get 1 to 2, I could just close them. But it's like risking 0.3%. if you're settling for 1 to 2, all those $3,000, $2,000, $3,000, $1,000, $4,000, I'll never have been able to make that amount on one trade. So I'll just be settling for $600 at most. $600. Like, I'm already risking so little. So if I'm going to pass this thing in a reasonable amount of time, I have to aim higher. See, I've been saying all these things for years now at this point. Like, one trade, random out of context trades, it does. If you go through my highlights on IG, if to say I dey post only my 1 to 10s, I dey post only where I dey catch 1 to 10, 1 to 8, 1 to this, 1 to that. You for think say, now so it dey be all day, all night. Load fast now. Okay, this was from my FTMO challenge. You see, I've always been a swing trader. This is like 54 weeks ago. I've always been a swing trader. I basically documented the whole progress. You see how I trailed the stop loss here after, like, this was 6 days in. I'd held this trade for 6 days. Stop loss was at $3,000. Phase 1 was brutal. This is where I did, because on a low key I was posting the highlights too, but I mean, phase 1 was tough. 80 something trades. So yeah, you see, I said phase 1 we won't take my life. Phase 2, this was the phase 2. You can see it's still the same trading, the same way I always trade. I did everything I was supposed to do, and I just passed it in one trade. So here I'd already trailed my stop loss to 1 to 6 and TP at 1 to 10, because I mean, that's all I needed. And if price was going to reverse, it would not make sense for me to allow the whole thing now reverse and come and hit my SL, So this was phase 2. So what now? Am I going to claim that I have a 100% win rate? If not, some people now, they for carry this off for head, say, I get 100% win rate. More. So this is George Soros saying the same thing again. It's not whether you are right or wrong that's important, but how much money you make when you are right and how much you lose when you are wrong. There is nobody that has figured out the market. That is just George Soros had a 35% win rate in his own career. So who are all these people that are now doing bro? Yeah, so this one was one article I wrote on X. I posted it here. This was my first swing trading strategy when I was back testing. This is like over the course of 3 years. You see, the first year wasn't really good. That's the thing with backtesting. When you backtest, when you see, let's say you have a strategy you already have in mind. If you get to that point where it seems like the strategy is no longer working, try to find out what is happening in that instance that's making that strategy not work anymore. In this case now, I first backtested like 2024 or 2023, 2024. That was before I did this. I think this one was from 2022 to 2024, 2025. When I first backtested the strategy, right, I did it from only like 2023 to 2024. So that was from this side to the rest. Then I decided, okay, let me add one more year to see if this thing holds up. But during this first year in 2022, I lost like 30%. Like the strategy lost 30% on the account. And then I just continued backtesting. So I now went back to that 2022 to figure out what was different during this year that made the strategy not produce like profits during that year. Then I found out that the way I was determining what my bias was actually wrong, because for the most part of 2022 gold was bearish, but then I had a bullish bias during my back testing. So that's what affected me. And then I started tweaking the strategy, trying to find a better way to determine how I would be choosing what my bias is. Then I did that one. I tested the new ideas. That's how you build an edge, right? You try something. If it works for a while, it stops working for a while. Try to find out why it stopped working. And most of the time, it's just that your bias is wrong, or you are at the beginning of a ranging market. Because say when market won't start to the range, now see the thing don't range for a while before you go to say, oh, okay, market they range. But if the market is bullish now and it wants to start ranging, there's no way you can know that market is about to start ranging. And when it don't range finish, you gonna say it don't range. That's important. That's the importance of risk management. That's the importance of all these things, because this was the beginning of phase 2. I posted everything on this one. At least most of those things. When price is going up, it reverses. I'll still post that one. This was one of the first few trades I took. Said, should I hold? Yeah. I think price reversed on this one. So you see how much price went in profit and then came back. So this stuff, I didn't really care. See, I beg. Once you already know what you are doing, all these things don't go, they move you like that. I chop all this kind of SL where you go first hit your stop loss, can't go move, hit your TP. All those things do not bother me, because at one point in your trading, those kinds of things will happen. It's inevitable. So if you're not ready for it, look at this one now. See how price hit my stop loss, started moving in my direction. It's like I'm not phased, because this thing will surely happen once in a while. There's no way to avoid it. So if you start crashing out here, say, oh, I see they have, you now start risking times 10 times 5 of what you're supposed to risk. Now waiting the market, the weights may you do with that. May it teach you serious lessons. Say, you understand. What else? More trades like that. This one I decided to close early because just different reasons. So this was a highlight of all the trades I took that were hitting stop loss before like going to TP. At one point gold was just ranging. So a lot of things happened, but bro, once you have your risk management in place, you already know what you are doing, you can handle all these things. Being profitable doesn't mean all these things will not happen at one point. It will surely happen. You have to be ready for it. If you're able to now survive this thing, that's what will separate you. That's the difference. You could have made $10K before, $100K before. When you now get to this kind of phase, some people will lose everything back to the market. They've not made anything at all. That's just the whole point. So in blah blah blah, and this was silver, I think. Yeah, whatever, man. I see all these things that just cruise at the catch. All this phase 2. What did I do? I'm just having fun with this shit. It's like at no point was I feeling I'm going to die, or like it's impossible to survive this thing. I just know it's part of the game. This is the one that is part of the game, not taking losses. Taking losses is the same thing as losing possession or getting punched by your opponent in a boxing match. Your opponent is going to dispossess you at some point, but if your defense is not good enough, then they will score. Your opponent is going to throw punches at you, but if your defense is not good, they will knock you out, right? It's the same way the market is going to hit your SL at some point, but if you're not using proper risk management, your money go finish and you go cry. So this was the GBP USD trade I talked about. I held this one for several minutes, several hours and whatnot. This was why I called it trade of the month, because it came back down to my break even, but I didn't care at this point. I just left it, and then so from my break even point, it then went, continued going up, and I closed, like I said, I closed this one manually. I just closed it, took the profits. You can just go through it, I beg. Many things happen. This was the last trade of phase 1. Whatever, man. But this has now turned into a whole lecture. By the way, just follow me on Instagram. You've already seen my Instagram page. I was more active on Instagram before I just switched to X, because now I enjoy X more. But yeah, so this whole idea of losses are not part of the game, that's just a fairy tale. That's a complete misrepresentation of Forex. You are not doing technical analysis to be able to predict the market with 100% certainty. It's just to give yourself that best guess. But, you can still be wrong most of the time and still make money. It's just, on average, just try as much as possible to make more than you lose on average. And over the course of several trades, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, the maths will handle itself. It's simple maths. If you have a 50% win rate, even a 30% win rate, but you have like a 1 to 3 RR on average, with just a 30% win rate, that would be, so every win would be 3. That means 30%, that would be 90. That means you'll be only up 20%. But I mean, 20% is still profitable. 20% is still profitable. If you have enough capital, if you have $1 million, 20% is $200,000. It's just that's another problem a lot of traders face. It's just that undercapitalization. So they can't even be patient enough to let all these things I'm saying play out, because they want to make that big money now. But if you had $1 million, if you make 20%, that's $200,000. You feel me? So, but just face the reality and do what you have to do and build slowly over the course of several months or years, and that's just it, man. And so I don't really blame people for voicing their dissatisfaction at this whole thing not turning out the way they expected. Although I blame them for believing there's anybody in this world that are so good at Forex and is so blah blah blah. Bro, use your common sense, right? When I came into this Forex game, like, it didn't take me up to 1 year to figure all these things out. Most of this shit is just marketing. Use your own brain. Think about it yourself. If these people are as good as they want you to believe they are, what is stopping them from making billions of dollars? Like, bro, explain what you are saying. Okay, you never lose. Why you never make $1 billion? Now you go say, oh, it's a $7 trillion market. So what's it called? They stop you from I beg. So, but yeah, enough of the gaslighting. Hey, there's no peace in FXNG. We hate each other in FXNG. You are paying for their experience. You are paying for their confidence. No, they paid because you've made them believe you are Thanos. You have the time stone. You can go into the future and then come back to tell them what is going to happen. So they are free to risk all the money they have, or 50% of the money they have, or 20, or a huge percentage of the money they have, because you've sold them that idea that you are the one controlling the market. So now that it's not turning out to be that way, and they are complaining, nobody should come out and be gaslighting and saying, if not so easy, why you not do them yourself? They know it's not easy, but you've made them believe it's easy for you. That's why they paid you. Otherwise, what are they now paying you for? Dark Bishop's Williamson effect has done its work on this claim. So, but at the end of the day, Muguna water for FXNG. Another person go still come out tomorrow, blast another life for una go still they fall for that one. Technical analysis is subjective. You are looking at the representation. What determines whether price goes up or goes down is the activity of the people participating in the market. People buy and sell for different reasons. There is no one way to interpret the market. It's just your own way. It's a subjective way of interpreting. However you choose to see the market, just make sure you have that one thing. You know how to do this thing. You know how to handle the situation in a way that over the course of several trades, you make more than you lose to the market. Your aim should not be to learn one strategy that you have. You're not getting any 90%. Take 100 trades first. Man, see that 90% win rate where they talk saying a 90% win rate. You just take one small sample size, 10 trades in your good moments, and blast the whole thing everywhere, like saying so it be every day. You go to hide your SL for one corner. You go to show only TP for outside. People come pay now expecting that, oh, this is now so it be here all day all night. You don't already sell that idea saying so it be all day all night. Now they see another thing, you can't say me they no shout. Bro, don't let anybody gaslight you for this FXNG again. Enough of that shit. This is not 2023. All these Ekmon munchers. When I know they say people they hit stop loss before, they knew. But now you make them feel say they chop SL. Not be you write this one. So what's it gonna happen now all of a sudden? Them too, they were chopping SL. That's why they came to pay you. This was supposed to be a video where I'll talk about all the things that happened in FXNG this week, but this whole shit just turned into one big ass lecture.